Hello everyone and welcome back to another rambling video. Today's topic is Sonic the Hedgehog and crossovers, because I think as of recent, when it came to Sonic, or at least when it comes to Sonic the Hedgehog, recently crossovers and collaborations have been like this big thing that they've really been pushing for the Sonic the Hedgehog brand, and I'm all for it. It's like, it's so insane to see Sonic be able to cross over with so many different franchises. And I mean, just let alone not trying to squeeze Crossworld's hype into this, but Crossworld's hype is kind of, you know, adding on to this whole collaboration discussion. Minecraft, which we know we've seen Sonic and Minecraft do a bunch of things before. You know, you had the Sonic texture packs, the Sonic little mini game thing in Minecraft, and now we have add-ons for Sonic characters in Minecraft where you can actually transform into them and fight Eggman for Chaos Emeralds and whatnot since the recent update, and I think that's just really cool. And then, like, the biggest thing, in my opinion, out of this collaboration thing that we've gotten so far with Crossworlds has been SpongeBob, because, and I mean, like, I've been a fan of SpongeBob since I was little. Loved the first 3 seasons. I always binge watch the first 3 seasons of SpongeBob whenever I have the chance to, just because it's just, that is just comedy gold. That is the golden era of SpongeBob, in my opinion. And being a part of the Sonic fandom for quite a while, I know that there have been tons of people advocating for, as weird as it sounds, a SpongeBob and Sonic crossover. And now that Paramount, or I say now as if Paramount just got the rights for Sonic for the movies, but, you know, since Paramount owns SpongeBob and has the rights for the Sonic movies, you know, it's like a no-brainer kind of collaboration. Why not do SpongeBob and Sonic within the same game? It sucks that they're not going to have voices and won't have any interactions with the Sonic characters, you know, but as Azuka said, it's all checks and balances, and getting interactions for Sonic characters approved for SpongeBob and Patrick would definitely take ages. We might even see them come to the game. And then aside from that, we got Pac-Man as well, which, you know, they have crossed over before. They celebrate each other's birthdays. I remember a long while back for Sonic Dash, the mobile game, they actually had a Pac-Man crossover where you could unlock Pac-Man and play as Pac-Man in Sonic Dash. I didn't really play too much of Sonic Dash, but I do remember that specifically. It had always just been like them celebrating one another, and now not only is Pac-Man in Crossworlds, we're also getting Green Hill Zone and some other Sonic-esque stages within Pac-Man World 2 Repack, which I still am shocked about. Looking at the gameplay footage, I still, like, I don't understand what I'm looking at, because I remember when that trailer dropped and they showed the gameplay of Pac-Man dressed up as Sonic going through Green Hill Zone, I was like, oh, Sonic Generations DLC with Pac-Man, what? But then little did we know it was actually gameplay from Pac-Man World 2 Repack, and it's just like, what? You just, how does that work? So I'm very interested and very curious of seeing what the other collaboration stages are for Sonic in that game, and I just think that's super cool. But aside from that, you know, going back to SpongeBob real quick, we also have 2 other Paramount and Nickelodeon properties coming in with the collaboration of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for Mutant Mayhem and Avatar Legends, which is the upcoming young adult sort of series for Avatar, following Aang and his friends in a more young adult setting, which I'm very interested in watching myself. I'm very shocked that they're doing anything with Avatar in general, because that would be the last series from Nickelodeon that I ever would have thought would have done anything with Sonic. But I find that really cool, and I'm very, very excited to know what that last DLC pack is potentially gonna be. I see rumblings of people saying, you know, it could be Among Us, it could be Hello Kitty, it could be DC, and, you know, I'm all for those, but you know what I want. If you've been on this channel long enough, you know that my main pick is Crash Bandicoot. At least something from Crash. Both Crash and Spyro would be absolutely fantastic, but, you know, I know that I'm on that copium too much with Crash Bandicoot, and we might not be getting Crash at all in this game, and I just feel like that's a little bit distasteful. And I don't blame Sega, I blame Activision, because Activision would be the ones in control of that decision. But again, very distasteful from Activision's part, considering that Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled sold 10 million units. You know, it's a no-brainer kind of collaboration just to put Crash Bandicoot in a racing game with Sonic. You'd make that money money back. You might even double the profits, because Sonic and Crash are two very similar franchises that would just work in a collaboration setting. But yeah, no, that little rambling rant session aside, God, please do something with Crash Bandicoot and Sonic. We just recently today got information that apparently Sonic is potentially doing a crossover or a collab with Fortnite. Within the files of Fortnite, there has been models and textures found for the Puma Sonic-styled and Shadow-styled shoes, which is the only thing that's like semi-confirmed to be coming to Fortnite. Again, I can't really say that it's confirmed because we just have the models and the textures. Obviously, within game development, that could just be something that they have planned, and you know, Sega's plans change. You know, there's nothing we can do. So for right now, it's still, I think, on the cusp, or at least near confirmation of this happening, but so far it's only been the shoes, which is cool, but I kind of wish it was a little bit more. I have seen a lot of speculation about what these cosmetics could be for, whether it just be an actual collaboration where they work with Puma and Sega to release these styles in Fortnite for shoes, and that's it, or, you know, there's other people that are speculating that maybe this is like a pre-order bonus if you pre-order Cross Worlds on Epic Games, because, you know, Epic Games loves to do that. They try to find ways of getting people on their platform. We've seen it happen before, where I think if you bought, like, if you pre-ordered or bought Borderlands, you got like a skin for Borderlands. If you pre-ordered or bought like Among Us on Epic Games, you got the Among Us collaboration stuff. So it could very well lean into being more of an incentive of purchasing Cross Worlds on Epic Games as opposed to just an outright collaboration. And that doesn't mean that these shoes would never return to the shop, as we have seen collaboration items like that come back in the shop, available for purchase with V-Bucks. Another thing that I've also seen is that apparently companions are going to be a thing in Fortnite soon. It's going to be sort of like this, like, I guess, this little pet that will follow you around or be around you. I guess the best example would be like a little dog following you around, and people are speculating that maybe Sonic and Shadow, or just Sonic, could potentially be a companion that you can equip. And something about that is very interesting, and something about that I can actually kind of believe, because there's another game that's doing something very similar to Fortnite, already doing something very similar to the companions in Fortnite, and that's PUBG Mobile, which also is having a Sonic the Hedgehog collaboration where you'll be getting like the Sonic woman like type of skin, and you can see in this image beside it that there is a Sonic like companion that's following them around. So again, very, very plausible that we could be seeing something very similar to that, but just in Fortnite. But yeah, no, it's very interesting seeing finally, after what feels like forever ago, of just like wanting, me personally wanting a Sonic collaboration with Fortnite, more specifically for the movies, because I feel like the movie characters would fit in very well, like Movie Robotnik, Agent Stone, Tom, Wade. Like, I think Wade in his police outfit would be really funny. But yeah, just something with those characters more specifically, not the Sonic characters themselves, because I feel like the proportions, if you were to extend them too long, they might look a bit weird, which, I mean, they've done before with other predetermined characters that sort of are usually short, like the Avatar characters. I feel like Aang definitely looks kind of weird with his legs being extended like that, but, you know, who knows, maybe they will lean into bringing those characters into Fortnite and modifying them in a way that they are usable like that. I just find it very interesting that this seems to be the year that Sega's like, okay, let's put Sonic in shooters. Like, are they gonna collaborate with Call of Duty next? Please. Look, if you're gonna do anything, right? If you're gonna do anything with Activision, you gotta do something with Crash, right? You can't look me in the face and tell me that the company that published not only the Insane Trilogy and Crash Team Racing Nitro Field, I'm sorry, I know I'm getting back on the Crash rant, but the company that published both of those games in Japan being Sega, and your approach to Activision is to put Sonic in Call of Duty, I would crash out immediately. actually crash out, like, immediately. But again, Dave, try not to make this about Crash Bandicoot challenge. Impossible. But how can I not talk about Crash Bandicoot in a Sonic collaboration video when that is like the collaboration that I really want, if that wasn't obvious enough. Sonic in the past year just has been so crazy with collaborations, and I know you know, we started off with Crossworlds and I'm about to get back to Crossworlds, but like with Crossworlds, it's just it opens up so many more doorways, and it's just like I feel like the first time that I have actually sat down and looked at Sonic as a brand and really was just like, oh my God, this is there are so many things that are happening with Sonic right now. It feels like a fever dream, you know? It just doesn't feel real. Like, and I'm really hoping that whenever Sonic Rumble comes around globally, that we can get more collaborations like this. Like, I'm hoping that Crossworlds is sort of like a stepping stone to just giving us like a little small peek into what's in store for the future of Sonic. Because if you can have characters like SpongeBob, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and Avatar, and Pac-Man in Crossworlds, you could have them also in Sonic Rumble. Like, I don't see them limiting those characters from getting into something like Sonic Rumble. Maybe even with Sonic Blitz as well, considering that's an upcoming mobile card deck builder game that's more so focused on the Sonic universe, but like, you know, you could also do something with that as well. There's just so many different opportunities that they're opening doors with these collaborations, and it's so it's really cool to see. Like, the one collaboration that like completely stands out to me the most, surprising as it is the Beyblade collaboration that they're doing with Sonic in Crossworlds, where you can, you know, you don't have the actual Beyblades themselves, but they're putting them in as like stickers that you can, or decals that you can put on your car and Extreme Gear and whatnot. And I just thought that was like the most bizarre and random thing. And then on top of that, as of recent, we've been getting Miku, like Hatsune Miku collaboration songs that are leading up to the release of Sonic Crossworlds, probably meaning that Hatsune Miku is going to be the, well, I mean, we know it's the first wave of character, but I think she's going to be there at launch. And we're going to have all these collaboration songs that they are releasing up until the 22nd, which is when the early access for Crossworlds opens up, and we'll have those songs in there alongside the character. And I think that's so cool. I don't know what else Sonic could potentially do. I'm more baffled that we are in a state where Sonic can literally collaborate with just about anything, and it works. So I'm really hoping that like this just snowballs into something even greater for the franchise. Because I mean, like, I didn't even talk about the DC collaboration that's been going on and still is going on. It's, you know, going through the end of 2026. We had the comics, which I didn't really read too much of. I read like the first 2 issues, and then I kind of stopped after issue 2, just because I kind of knew that it was gonna be a short, like, little thing that they were gonna do. And then, like, just knowing that there were 4 comics total, I just sort of lost interest like halfway through it, just because it's just like, I like what they're doing, but I wish it had lasted a little bit longer. You know, we're getting the toys, we're getting I don't know what else we're getting. They haven't really said what else we're getting. I know we're getting merchandise and toys, and then like I would be shocked if they didn't do an animated feature for like Shadow as Batman or something like that. Like, I can almost feel like there's gonna be something that they're gonna do animated wise for DC, if DC is not the final collaboration for Crossworlds. And I just really, again, hope this domino effects in snowball effects into something much greater, with other franchises surrounding Sonic that you might not be as familiar with. And I just think it's really great for brand awareness all around. It really goes to show how big the property is, and I've just really been enjoying seeing that happen this year. And it's got me excited for the future, because, you know, I got my little wish list of collaborations that I'd like to see. You know, number 1, Crash Bandicoot. Number 2, Crash Bandicoot. Number 3, Crash Bandicoot. You know, the top 10 is all just nothing but Crash Bandicoot. dream collaborations, okay? Be realistic here. I'm being realistic, all right? Number 1, Crash Bandicoot. I know I did that joke, but just bear with me, all right? Number 2, I'd like to see something more from Warner Brothers. I'd like to see Scooby-Doo, Looney Tunes. You know, you've got so many animated properties that would fit and blend well with Sonic. I know that they did OKKO a while back, and I really enjoyed that. I thought that was really sick and really awesome. You could probably throw in some Marvel. I know that they're doing like a big DC collaboration right now, but doing something with Marvel would be really sick to see. And that's just really mainly the top 4 that I can name off the top of my head. I can't really think of anything outside of those franchises that I'd personally really like to see happen with. But I just think overall, Sonic's in a good place. Let me know in the comments down below what collaborations you'd like to see this franchise go through with, and you know, it could be potentially big. You know, you never know. Never say never. And please, Rumble, come out soon. You know, I pray that that game comes out soon, and it does really well. They just launched Pre-Season 7. I was going to stream it, but I'm still a little fatigued about it. I get on and play every now and then, but I am still a bit fatigued about the whole, you know, pre-launch kind of thing, and trying to explain that, like, you know, it's still coming, but they're still working on it, and I can't, you know, I can't be the voice for everybody, unfortunately, but I have faith that Rumble will come soon, and I have faith with Rumble's success leading to more collaborations in the future, and hopefully, just hopefully, I'll get my Crash Bandicoot. If you like this video, please don't forget to leave a like, and be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell to keep up with more Sonic content, or just more of me rambling in general. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.